While we aren't seeing any snowfall this week, it has been a remarkable year for snowfall. The overall accumulations haven't set any records, but the time in which it came down has created headaches for the city. The issue of snow removal has also created a lot of questions for City Council.
This winter's snow removal crisis kicked in mid-December when 43 centimeters of snow fell over 2 days. Given an average of 15 centimeters, it takes 5 days to clear the city of snow. This snowfall took 8.5 days. It prompted council to request a post-mortem on exactly what happened.
This is a problem that's, it's been building for a while, and I think the city definitely dropped the ball. And when the report came out, I think on January 6th, and it said that people's expectations were too high and that snow removal service hasn't changed. The report last night was completely different, saying basically, we blew it. So moving forward, we have to do a number of things to improve this, because there's no way that this should ever happen again.
Staff presented that report, and with it, a request for $6 million in capital funding for replacement of snow removal equipment. Council wasn't quick to embrace the request, but the discussion morphed into a series of much bigger questions.
What we're looking at is how do we start addressing that. The council did a stepped increase for 2014. We increased the budget by $1.1 million, trying to deal with that. Still not getting us to where we need to be. So my thought is can we take another step towards that? Can we add another $1 million a year targeted specifically for our snow removal fleet?
Instead of forging ahead with a financial commitment for the snow removal equipment, the Committee of the Whole will look at a much larger picture.
Just what type of shape is our fleet in? Where do we have to look at doing improvements? And how critical is the need to actually replace that fleet today? The initial ask from staff was to fund it all at once. We don't do anything all at once. We do it in a stepped approach when we're trying to fix huge problems like this. So then what does it look like? How do we phase that in? Is that over 3 years, over 5, over 6?
It's unlikely the Committee of the Whole meeting will happen until this winter season has passed, but Brian Skaken firmly believes snow removal will be done differently the next time the snow flies.
Community, they pay a lot of taxes for snow removal. They expect good service, and there's absolutely no way that, I'm going to take the status quo for any type of answer. So when we deal with this again, we're even going to be looking at the snow removal policy about priorities. Do we spend 2 nights downtown first, or do we get into some of the other areas and do the priority streets there? So there's absolutely no way that this should ever happen again.
2 external reports, one in 2009 and the other in 2012, both pointed to a spending deficit of $14 million for fleet equipment. Cheryl Jan, CKPG News.